Hello everyone, welcome back to the Drivers Room. We're in the Endurance Championship today. This is season 1 of 2020 and we're in the final round of the season, round 8, Sardinia Road Track C in the Group 2s. Our grid walk today on pole we have CS Smith of CS Racing, starting on the racing softs in the 08 Nissan. In second place we have Hit the Mac, Grazzini Racing Team, starting on the racing mediums. He's in the Nissan GTR. In third place we have Plux the Duck of Made for Racing, starting on the Racing Super Softs. He's in the Lexus. Fourth place today we have PS Dasmaniac of PSD Racing, starting on the Racing Super Softs. He's in the Nissan GTR. In fifth place today we have Senna of Senna Motorsport, starting on the racing softs. He's in the Lexus. In sixth place today we have Kamaru of Milner Racing, starting on the racing super softs, also in the Lexus. Seventh place today we have Wilco of OZ Racing, starting on the racing super softs in the Nissan GTR. In 8th place today we have Muller of OSR Racing, starting on the Racing Super Softs, also in the Lexus, very popular choice this season. 9th place we have Gadget, TMB, Team Motion Blur, starting on the Racing Super Softs, also in the Lexus. And in 10th place today we have Jules, Team Omega Volvo, starting on the racing softs, also in the Lexus. And at the back today only 11 runners. 11th place we have Ben of Moose Racing, starting on the racing super softs, also in the Lexus. As our grid walk today, let's take a quick look at the championship table and then we'll get underway. So with one round to go in season 1 of 2020, we look at the table. Plux already declared champion with a round to spare, absolutely dominant performance in the first few rounds, and just pride at stake mainly today for the top runners. I think Gadget's a little bit out of distance for Smith too, and look a bit further down the table, only 12 points separating 5th to 8th place. With myself not racing today, there's a tight battle between Kamaru, Muller and Senna. Bit further down again, Ben needs to finish 9th to guarantee safety today. With Candy not racing, Ben can avoid relegation. But that's the table for the final race of the season. Let's get underway. So just taking a look back from Smith's point of view on pole. Final race of season 1 in 2020 in the Group 2 Sardinia Road Track Cs. We're about to get underway, building up the revs, and we're off. And that's a brilliant launch from Smith by the looks of it. Yeah, he's already pulled a gap from the rest of the grid. Really good start there, so he shouldn't be under any pressure into T1. Mac holding on a second. You've got Plux in third, Kamaru having a look into T1, and Gadget, Plux and Daz 3 abreast into T1. Daz losing out there, dropping back to 7th place. So Gadget just holding on to that place there, Kamaru holding on to 4th, Gadget in 5th, Senna in 6th. Unfortunately Daz dropping a few places in T1. A little bit further up, you've got Plux putting Mac under pressure already, and it looks like Mac's run a little bit wide, lost some momentum, so Plux up in the 2nd place. So Mac starting on the racing mediums, he's going to struggle at the early part of this race. It all come through the hairpin pretty neat and tidy. Looks like Senna just having a look at Gadget at the moment. He's got a good run. Gadget's got the inside of T1, but Senna's just got himself ahead there. Gadget's late on the brakes, a little bit untidy, bit of contact, and Gadget losing a couple of places. You see Ben moving up into 6th place. Dad's still in 7th, Gadget in 8th, Muller in 9th. Oh, just picked up a bit of front damage there somewhere. Same as Jules behind, Wilco in 11th. Smith leading the pack into the hairpin for the 2nd time. Reasonably comfortable gap to Plux at the moment. And that's Daz running wide at the hairpin. Oh, he's picked up heavy engine damage. What a terrible start for Daz. Starting fourth on the grid. And Muller jumping into the pits as well, get that front end damage fixed. Shocking start from Daz there, starting on fourth and finds himself right at the back of the grid now. Pitting at the end of lap 2. So Mac retaining third place at the moment. He's going to come under pressure from Kim on the super softs. I mean, a lot quicker this stage of the race. Interesting tactics from Mac. We'll see how that plays out. Very, very short lap here. Obviously just under the 50-second mark. Not many overtaking opportunities. Position your car well enough and you should be able to defend. Obviously this is the best overtaking opportunity coming up into T1. Let's have a quick on board with Kim, see if make the most of this slipstream. Imagine he's going to really want to get ahead of Mac as soon as possible. So he takes a little bit of a look on the inside. Sensible on the brakes there, nothing happening on lap 4. So Kim still in 4th place, you've got Senna in 5th now, Ben still in 6th, Gadget in 7th. Jules still carrying on with that front end damage, he's in 8th place. Muller recovering from 9th, Daz in 10th now. Wilco, didn't catch what happened to Wilco at the start of the race, obviously he's dropped a fair bit back as well. May have had to dive into the pits for damage also. It's end of lap 4 now, Smith coming across the line. 47.8 for Plux is matching the pace at the moment. Both of these guys, no, Smith's on the softs and Plux on the super softs. Max still holding on to 3rd place as Kamara having another look into T1, just can't get the job done at the moment. Looks like Senna's closing the gap to these two now as well. Let's give Ben a chance to catch up with the fight ahead. Catching a bit of clean air. Now it's come through the hairpin. We'll check the time of the leader again compared to Plux behind. Just hitting 48s now and a little bit quicker from Plux, so yeah, it's keeping the pressure on at the moment. Mac having a bit of a weave down the main straights, trying to break that toe. He goes defensive into T1 again. It's Kamaru's not going to get the job done again. Mac positioning his car really well at the moment. And that looked like someone diving in the pits from the back. So Jules, he picked up engine damage, so get that front damage fixed as well. Just Mac a little bit untidy coming through that section. Kamaru's going to find himself under pressure from Senna and as to come into this very awkward braking zone into the hairpin. Senna takes a little bit of a look, but still neat and tidy again. Kamaru's really got to concentrate on the exit out of that hairpin. He's going to get the job done on Mac. A little bit closer this time, but still I don't think he's close enough. He takes a little bit of a look on the inside, just letting Mac know he's there. See a little bit further in, I think Plux is starting to close the gap on Smith now. 48.1 from Smith last time around, 47.9 from Plux. A couple of attempts taken off him again. A little bit wide there from Smith maybe. He's on the grass on the exit as well. He may well have lost a couple more attempts to Plux. 48.3, 48.1 from Plux, yeah, 2 attempts taken off him again. So we join the battle for 3rd place. Mac, Kamaru and Senna. Again, you see Mac just breaking the toe there a little bit as he goes semi-defensive into T1 again. Imagine Kamaru getting really frustrated behind at the moment. Senna just still holding on to the back of this pack. Consistent laps from Ben in 6th place, Gadget in 7th. Rear damage Gadget. So we missed that. He's obviously probably got hit in the braking zone somewhere. We're in 8th now, completely clean there. You've got Wilco up into 9th after his early incident. Jules down to 10th, Dad's down to 11th now. 48.2 from Smith, 47.8 from Plux. Is she getting close to that toe now? Only on the 6-minute mark. I think Mac's safe into T1 again. Yeah, Pluck's really getting close to the leader now. So yeah, I'll definitely say he's in tow. Mac getting a little bit untidy there again. 48 seconds from Mac at the moment in third place on the racing mediums. We'll see how long he can make this first stint stretch out for. Doing really well at the moment though, just keeping Kamaru at bay. Should come into the hairpin. Good exit now from Kim. He wants to get right up his bumper, get that slipstream. Might well have a run on him here. Matt goes shallow. He's compromised his line. Terrible camera work. Sorry about that. Yeah, Matt compromised his line into T1 a little bit, going defensive, and that's given Kamaru a great exit. You see Mac in the mirrors there. So Kamaru getting the job done up into third place. See if he can extend that lead. That centre going a little bit off. He's lost the back end a little bit coming through that section, but yeah, Kamaru up into third place now. See if we can stretch that lead over Mac. We'll see what Senna can do from fifth place now. There's different racing lines through the hairpin. Senna in fifth, Ben in sixth place still. Gadget in seventh, carrying on with that damage, just about keeping under the 50-second mark. The lap time's 48.7 from Muller in 8th. Jules in 9th now, recovering. Didn't get himself back up to speed. He's got Daz in 10th. Wilco's had an incident somewhere again, he's dropped back. 1 minute 07, so whether he pitted again on lap 8 there, I'm not sure. Rejoin the leader now and end the lap 11. Jump on board with Plucks down the main straight. Don't think he's close enough at the moment. 48.2 on that lap. It's in a really good position at the moment, I'd say. Plucks not close enough yet to make a move on the race leader. Just a couple of laps forward, and we've still got Smith retaining his first position. Coming under increasing pressure from Plucks now though. We'll just come up to the 12-minute mark. We'll see. Oh, it's a really late decision from Smith to dive into the pits there. So you got Plucks in the lead of this race now. Smith in the pits. We'll see how close Kamaru is. Is he going to pit? No, Kamaru carries on. And Smith's just coming out the pits now, so safely back into second place. Mac still holding on to fourth, keeping Senna at bay. Ben still in sixth. Gadget still carrying on with that rear damage. And Muller closing the gap in 8th place now. May well get himself in a position to get the overtake done within a lap or two. I think Gadget's speed's really compromised at the moment. On board with Muller coming up to the hairpin. So really difficult braking zone coming up as he's very sensibly off the throttle early just to keep it neat and tidy. Good exit out of here. This should be a pretty textbook move at the end of this straight. I'd imagine the top end speed is compromised on Gadget's car. We just have a look at. This should be a pretty easy move into T1. Just squeezes Gadget out a little bit to the edge there to get a better line in. But yeah, Muller up in 7th place now, Gadget down to 8th. Jules 9th, Daz in 10th. I think we've lost Wilco from the back. Who now race leader Plucks. 48.9 last lap for Plucks. This is that's first flying lap for Smith, so 47.8. Nearly well, over a second quicker. But I think Plucks will be looking to get closer to the 15-minute mark, we'll see. So Gadget finally pitting from 8th place, get that damage repaired, see if he can recover from there. Still over 45 minutes of this race to go, plenty to play for him. Send the lap 17 now. So yeah, see the right rear really losing grips. Pluck's diving into the pits. Smith the fastest man on track at the moment. Just comfortably retain his first place as he goes purple. Just picking up a bit of a toe from Daz ahead as well. So Smith jumps back into first place. Pluck's into second, as we've got Kamaru pitting. So Kamaru's pitted from third place, has promoted Mac back up into third. I think Senna's pitted as well. It's moved Ben up into fourth. Senna and Kim really close together on the pit exit, but Kamaru doing enough to stay ahead. In fifth place, Senna in sixth. Muller in seventh. Has he just pitted? Really fresh tyres. I think Muller might have made his first pit. Scheduled pit stop anyway. So Gadget back out of super softs now. Jules in ninth, due a pit stop soon. Daz still doing enough to stay ahead of the race leader Smith at the moment, but getting the blue flags now. Smith getting a nice toe down the main straight. But Pluck's not that far behind at the moment. She's got Ben pitting from what was fourth or fifth, I'm not sure. He's dropped back now. Max still yet to pit on this long stint on the mediums. It'll be interesting to see how that strategy plays out. Kamaru's still under pressure from Senna in fifth. Just keeping an eye on this battle now. I think these two guys are the closest on track at the moment. So he's down to 10 runners now. Senna setting his personal best. Notice, oh, is he going to have a look on the inside of the hairpin? I think he does, gets the move done. But obviously, it's a bit of struggle getting the power down there. He's lost a bit of momentum, so Kamaru's probably going to have a look back into T1. Maximises his slipstream, pulls out. Senna's still defensive, but Kamaru gets a job done on the outside there. As you see Senna just touching the curb on the inside, just spinning a little bit, but yeah, great overtaking the outside of T1 from Kamaru there. Senna dropping back down to fifth place. Ben in sixth now. Clean air, can just get on with his own race. See if Muller can close that gap. 48.3 from Muller last time out, 49.8 from Ben. So second and a half. Muller's quicker at the moment. Should really be looking to close that gap. Put Ben under pressure. Gadget and clean air now also, just get on with his race, try and recover a result from there. Jules in ninth, do a pit stop, and Daz in 10th. Smith just holding a reasonably comfortable gap over second place Plucks at the moment, but their pit stop strategy slightly staggered. So Mac in third. Just hitting the 50-second mark on his lap times now. Fast approaching Kamaru behind. Just rejoining the end of lap 21. As you see, Daz looking to unlap himself now as the racing mediums starting to get a bit of wear, really not carrying that much pace. I think Daz is going to unlap himself into T1. Yeah, he's clearly ahead. So he's probably got fresher super soft, so well within his rights to unlap himself there. You see Mac having a bit of a poor exit out of the hairpin, gets a little bit untidy again. He's going to be under pressure from Kamaru really soon. Maybe Mac trying to stretch the 20-minute mark, turn this into a two-stopper. Yeah, definitely see how much time was made up from Kamaru. Then really closed the gap through the hairpin. And Mac's got a slipstream ahead, luckily. So done him a little bit of favour. Daz unlapping himself on the end of the last lap. I think he would have been under a lot of pressure from Kamara into T1 if he didn't have that slipstream then. But, still holding on to third place at the moment, Kamara in fourth. I think it's only a matter of time now. He's got yellow flags up ahead. I don't know what's happening there, but is that someone by the side of the track maybe? We just flashed past someone there, but see what Kamara can do into the hairpin this time. Side by side, going a long way round, but he's got much better traction on the way out, as you can clearly see that. So Mac choosing to go for another lap. It's hitting the 19-minute mark now, so Kamara up into third place, last podium spot. Pretty strong season for Kamara, season 1 of 2020. He's looking on course for a podium here today as well. Kamara in third, Mac in fourth now. Senna still in fifth, not far behind this battle. Ben still in sixth. Muller's not really made. So Ben's got his lap times back down now. PB on lap 21, steady mid 48s. Very similar pace to Muller at this stage of the race. Gadget might be closing the gap to Muller a little bit. Daz getting the blue flags again. Daz in 9th, Jules in 10th. Starts at the 20-minute mark now. Just rejoin the action with Mac on lap 26. He's coming under increasing pressure from Senna now. I think the racing mediums have had enough. Still steadily below the 50-second mark. Those pretty good lap times from Mac on those warm mediums. He's run really wide through the hairpin. I think that might be him diving into the pits now. So yeah, 21-minute mark, good first stint from hitting the Mac. Senna up into fourth now. He's got Kamara a little bit further down the road. See where Mac feeds out in relation with Ben. See Ben goes past. Next man down the road is Muller. Goes through also, and Gadget gets through as well. So Mac rejoined the race right back in 8th place. So Dad's just getting some blue flags, jumping out of the way of Kamara there. Now a quick run through the grid again. Start at lap 28 now. Smith comfortably in first place. He's got to be due a pit stop soon, I would say. And, Pluck's not doing enough to close that gap at the moment. He may well be in a position to do one less stop this race. We'll see how that pans out. Kamara in a comfortable third position now. Bit of clean air, can start getting some good lap times in. Senna also, tyre wear kicking in a little bit now though. A solid race from Ben so far, up in 5th place. Muller. Yeah, looks like Gadget might have closed that gap a little bit to Muller. Gadget in 7th, Mac in 8th. Now he's come back out on the mediums again, so he's going to probably look to push this past the 40-minute mark. It does look like he's on for a 2-stopper. Don't often see the racing mediums used in the Endurance Championship just because they don't carry a lot of pace, but I think Mac's getting the most out of them at the moment. Jules running a little bit wider in the background there. Yeah, 48.5 from Mac, pretty good lap time on the slower compounds. 48.5 from Gadget last lap on the warm super softs, slightly warm super softs. 48.4 from Muller up ahead. So yeah, very very similar place. 48.6 from Ben. Yeah, very similar pace across the midfield at the moment. Coming towards the end of lap 30 now. I think the pace just starting to drop off a little bit from Smith as he decides to jump into the pits again. This will promote Plucks into first place temporarily again. So already crowned season 1 champion. So not looking to just sit back and slow down. He wants the race win here as well. Smith rejoining in 2nd place now. Couldn't call couldn't really call in a better position out of these the top two drivers. Completely different strategies at the moment. Kamaru in third, Senna pitting for fourth place, promote Ben up into fourth. May well promote Muller as well. Ben, Muller and Gadget still running at similar pace, and Senna rejoins the race. Lost the place to Muller, might get just about stay ahead of Gadget there. Keeps it neat and tidy through T1, so he rejoins the race in 6th place. Got Muller up ahead, slightly warm tyres, still pretty good pace for Muller at the moment though. And Ben up to 4th now, see what he can do from there. See Mac just catch up to the back of this group now as well. Start picking up the slipstream of Gadget within a couple of laps, and that's Senna putting Muller under pressure. So Senna's really closed that gap up quickly on the fresh tyres. So Muller goes defensive and retains 5th place. Ooh. Mac has a massive incident there. He's got heavy engine damage as well. I don't know what happened there. He just seemed to lose it through that twisty section. You see Senna's move, still putting Muller under pressure. None of these guys pitting yet. Senna with a bit of an untidy exit out of the hairpin could find himself under pressure from Gadget in the T1. You see Mac diving into the pits in the background, and he's lost chunks of time there, let alone having to do an unnecessary pit stop. It's a shame from Mac. It's it's completely ruined his strategy. So we're back with this fight now. You've got Muller, Senna and Gadget still fighting for 5th, 6th and 7th. I think Muller and Gadget will be due a pit stop soon, which will release Senna. A little bit of contact there. So Muller just shutting the door on the exit of the hairpin, and so Ben further up. Yeah, so closing the gap to Ben up ahead. 49.2 from Ben last lap, 48.8 from Muller, nearly half a second. All positions retained, 5th, 6th and 7th at the moment. So Mac's back out in 8th place. I think it's just been lapped by Smith there as well. Disappointed. Got to be very disappointed, Mac. Down to 9 runners now. I think we've lost Jules. And you've got Kamaru pitting from 3rd place. I think he's got enough of a gap over Ben to come back out in 3rd. He's got a lot of fuel to take on though, so see how that goes. And Gadget is also pitting further back. Ben up into 3rd place now. Kamaru just rejoining the race. Muller comes through. Senna will come through as well, I'd imagine. And Senna gets the job done on Muller into T1. He finally gets ahead. Try and make the most of that fresh rubber now. I imagine Muller will be under pressure from Kamaru. I imagine Muller might well be pitting the end of this lap, but we'll see. You see Senna's already stretching his legs ahead, looking to close that gap on Ben in 3rd. Ben also might be due a pit stop soon. Yeah, Muller into the pits. See how close Gadget is. He pitted a lap before. See if he gets any sort of undercut done here. Muller really low on fuel as well, so it depends how much fuel Gadget put on. Down the main straight now, and you've got Plux pitting from the lead. We'll have a look at that in a sec, but Gadget gets ahead of Muller. Muller just rejoining the racetrack, but you've got Smith back up into 1st place now with Plux in the pits, 9% fuel. Plux rejoining in 2nd place. Ben coming into the hairpin now. closely followed by Kamaru and Senna. And Ben diving into the pits there. Kamaru trying to get as much slipstream off of Ben as he could. He's going to be under pressure from Senna. See if Ben's done enough to stay ahead of Gadget. So Ben coming out of the pits, you just hear, yeah, Gadget got a lot more speed. I think it's a comfortable overtake. Yes, Gadget up to 5th place now. That undercut really working out well. Ben down to 6th, Muller in 7th. All three of them guys on fresh rubber now. Mac out on the softs now after that massive after that crash, picking up massive engine damage. Smith in the lead of this race now. Pluck's in 2nd, quite a gap behind, having just pitted. Kamaru's still under pressure from Senna, doing enough to stay ahead at the moment. That 3rd place fight for the final podium position. Like Muller's really closed that gap to Ben in 6th place. Smith running away with this race at the moment. Looking like it's his to lose at the halfway point, but we'll see if he does need to make that extra pit stop. This will bring these two guys very, very close together at the finish of this race. We'll end at lap 39 now. So Senna's still putting Kamaru under pressure. Gadget and clear air in 5th, and that's Muller making a move on Ben. Looks like he turns 2 and 3. You can count them as turns, but it's Muller up into 6th place now, Ben down to 7th. Mac and 8 a little bit further behind, still in a position to fight for places. Can keep the pace up. And Daz in 9th. Been a very short track here, you're going to see a lot of blue flags. Smith just coming up to some back markers again. Pluck's on the main straight, 47.9 from Pluck's, 47.8 from Smith. So yeah, Smith looking really good at the moment. Battle for 3rd still going on as looks like Senna's had a pretty good exit. Getting critical on fuel now though. A PB last lap for Senna. See Kamaru going defensive into T1. A little bit, but okay, Kamaru's still doing enough. Much better on fuel at this stage of the race as well, Kamaru, so that will benefit him massively at the next stage of pit stops. Oh, as Kamaru runs wide at the hairpin, this is going to give Senna an easy overtake. Thankfully Kamaru will pick up that slipstream, recover a little bit, but yeah, didn't need that. Kamaru down to 4th, Senna up to 3rd, but due a pit stop very, very soon. Kamaru's tyres still good, fuel very good at the moment. Gadget's still in 5th place. Same clean air front and back, just get his head down, get some good lap times in now. Muller in 6th, same for Muller, bit of clean air. Ben's still holding on to the slipstream at the moment as he's got race leader Smith coming up behind now. I think the blue flags are definitely upset some midfield battles. Need to try not to lose too much time while obviously letting the race leader through as quick as possible. a little bit of contact with Smith and Ben there. Smith's got rear damage and Smith got front damage. Ben's got a little bit of rear damage, and Smith jumps into the pits. Was that a lap early for Smith because of the contact? I don't know, but this Pluck's coming down the main straight now. It's just over 25% of fuel in Pluck's car. Gets himself back into the lead. Smith rejoining in second place now. I imagine Senna will be diving into the pit soon. He's still fending Kamaru off at the moment. And he goes round again, stretching his stint out as long as possible. He goes defensive into T1 again, positions his car really well, gives Kamaru nowhere to go. Kamaru chomping at the bit now, get back past after that silly mistake at the hairpin, kicking himself, but so Senna will be pitting soon. That'll free him up to get some good lap times in. Looks like Mac has closed the gap up to Ben. I think that rear damage has cost him a bit of lap time. Shame really, because he's having a stellar race up until that point. Pretty comfortably stretching out to 15-minute stints. He was due to probably go to the 45-minute mark around that on this stint, but yeah, see Senna pitting up ahead. That's released Kamaru. And Ben choosing to pit, get that damage fixed, costing him too much. Got Mac back up into 7th place now, and that is Senna's rejoining the track just behind Muller there. So Muller getting himself ahead of T1. Senna on a fresh rubber now though. You're looking to get away past as soon as possible. A little bit untidy there from Muller. Just about keeps the speed up. Nowhere to overtake through that section. And really nice and tidy, good exit from the hairpin, but so has Senna. Jump on board again down the main straight as he picks up the slipstream. See what Muller does. He moves over to the left hand of the track. Yeah, goes defensive. Does enough to retain 5th place for the moment. And lap 46 now, see what Senna can do on the exit, and he's a really good. Yeah, I think he's a bit closer this time. I think he's a little bit closer, may well get the move done this time around. See slipstream really kicking in now. He grabs the inside of the corner and gets the job done in T1 pretty comfortably. So Senna back up into 5th place now. Muller down to 6. Mac not that far behind Muller now, but tyre wear starting to kick in a little bit. Ben recovering in 8th place now. Let's see what he can do for the rest of this race. Dad's in 9th. So just rejoining in the race at the end of lap 51. Kamaru comfortable 3rd position at the moment. So you've got Gadget up to 4th place now after Senna's pit stop. Yeah, Kamaru diving into the pits there. Gadget critical on fuel now. I think you could just hear Senna coming into the pit chip behind. Is Gadget going to pit? It goes round again. There's Senna in the background, really closing that gap on Gadget. Kamaru should. Gadget goes through. And Kamaru just rejoins behind Senna at the moment. Excuse me. We're in 6th place. Mac in 7th, just getting in touching distance to the toe of Muller ahead. Pluck's in the lead, and you see Smith in the background already. He's already closed that gap up on the fresh rubber. A little bit untidy there, but keeps his speed up. Pluck's critical on fuel now as well. Smith just under a quarter of a tank. Pluck's going through again. Smith following. Gadget up to a provisional third place at the moment. Good recovery drive so far. Senna in fourth, Kamara not far behind in fifth. Both these guys on slightly different strategies at the moment. And that is Gadget pitting from third place. Gadget pitting from third, and Pluck's pitting from the lead, and Smith following him in as well. So that's an interesting tactic. I think Smith just looking to mirror Pluck's till the end now, and slightly better fuel, so should come out ahead of Pluck's depending on how much fuel he puts in. And that is Smith leaving the pits now. Back in first place. Pluck's taking on a bit more fuel maybe, so yeah, just under half a tank. Pluck's with a little bit more fuel on that stint and that pit stop. Smith in second, Smith in first, Pluck's in second. Got Senna back up into third place now. Kamaru looking to close that gap and put him under pressure as soon as he can. Got Muller in fifth, got to be due a pit stop soon. So yeah, Mac's really closed that gap up to Muller now. There's Mac diving into the pits. Both of these guys diving into the pits. Slightly better fuel for Mac at this stage of the race, but should be close between those two guys for the rest of this race, and close with Gadget as well. I think he's done enough to get a bit of clean air between himself and Mac. Comes out of the pits just ahead of Muller. Blue flags all kicking off here, and that looks like Ben's got himself in between hit the Mac and Muller. Ben back up to 7th place for the moment, Muller in 8th. Say the blue flags are going to be an interesting factor in these midfield fights. So other than the main straight, it's very difficult to sort of yield positions on this track without losing too much time. Muller does well there getting out of the way, and Ben just gets out of the way a little bit too much there. So Muller back up into 7th, and Ben jumping into the pits. A really good start from Ben, just sort of came undone a little bit after the contact with Smith. Finds himself towards the back of the grid now. It's hitting the 45-minute mark. Mac got some clean air over Muller now. Obviously Muller getting caught up in the blue flags, having to slow down. And Mac at full pace. Just just stretch that gap to Muller a little bit. I think Smith's pulled quite a gap to Pluck's now as well. Pluck's fighting through the traffic. Compromised him a little bit. Kamaru not making much ground up on Senna at the moment. It's, Senna really low on fuel again. Be looking to come in for his last pit stop of the race soon. Goes round again. Gadget under no pressure. Is that Mac in the background? I think Mac's just gone wide a little bit there. Mac had a huge gap over Muller a minute ago, so he's had no damage thankfully, but he's lost a lot of time there. Muller just sitting in the toe of second place Pluck's at the moment. Just what he needs at this stage of the race. Try and I don't think he's going to be in a position. His Gadget's a lot further ahead down the road. Pretty good on fuel and tyre wear as well, so It's gonna need something to happen. Something happened to Gadget's race for him to make that much time up. Just under 15 minutes to go now. He's got Senna pitting for 4th place. Promotes Kamaru back up into 3rd place. See if Gadget moves up as well. So Senna just coming out the pits there. He's not going to have any speed though. See, it's a really dangerous pit exit here. And Gadget runs wide into T1. That's a massive mistake. Just carrying too much speed going into T1 there. He drops right back. So commentator's curse there. This could well put Muller in a position to challenge Gadget towards the end of this race. So you've got him in his sights now. Just see him at the end of that straight. And Muller still just about staying in touch with Plux, picking up that slipstream. Mac recovering in 7th, Ben in 8th, Daz in 9th. Just jumping a little bit further ahead, and Mac has really closed up the gap to Muller again. Still setting PBs, and might well be in a position to pick up the slipstream on the main straight. Into the hairpin. A bit too much curve there from Muller. That might have compromised the getting the power down. Yeah, I think Mac's had a really. Yeah, he's on the slipstream already, so should be a pretty comfortable overtake. Should be a car length ahead well before the corner. Not quite, but he's got the inside. Should be pretty comfortable. Yeah, see Muller in the mirror there. Mac back up into 6th place. Muller down to 7th. Muller runs really a rare mistake from Muller there, just getting caught out, just understeering a bit into the wall, picking up massive damage as well. Don't know what happened there. So Mac up into 6th place anyway. I think Muller may well pit for that damage, left and right damage. And Muller in 7th. Don't think Ben's going to be close enough. We'll see. He's just come round the hairpin now. So Dad's pitting at the back as well. Just coming out of the pits. Ben's not really close enough, but can get himself in a position to challenge towards the end of this race. Under 10 minutes to go now. So quick look at our leaders. Smith in 1st place still. Comfortable gap over Plux now. Plux really getting caught out with getting caught out in the traffic. Smith finding a bit of clean air and has the length of the straight advantage over Plux now, so 48.2. So 59-second lap. Did Plux pit again? Hence the massive gap, I'm not too sure. But anyway, we've got Plux in 2nd, Kamaru in a reasonably comfortable 3rd position. Did have Senna challenge him at some point. I think Kamaru's good to the end of the race now. Senna in 4th place, Gadget in 5th. Mac in 6th with front damage. Max had an incident somewhere again by the looks of it. See if he pits to get that damage fixed, because he's going to have Muller closing that gap very quickly, I'd imagine, out on the fresh rubber. But Mac carrying on with that damage in 6th place for the moment. It's Muller just picking up the toe of Daz ahead. It's under 5 minutes to go now, see if Muller can do anything to challenge Mac. Daz in 9th, just getting the blue flags for Muller behind. Yeah, Smith comfortably in the lead of this race at the moment. Under 5 minutes to go now. It should be good to the end of the race. Fuel might be a little bit tight, but I think it'll be good. Smith in 1st, Plux in 2nd, Kamaru in 3rd, Senna in 4th, Gadget 5th, Mac in 6th. Still carrying on with that damage. See what these lap times are like. 49 flat, so it's pretty good. Muller makes a mistake out there. He's picked up damage again. Oh, torrid end of the race for Muller. That would definitely, I think that'll keep Mac will be comfortable for 6th place now. So Ben in 7th, making up a place with Muller pitting again. Muller just rejoining the race in 8th, and Daz in 9th. So less than a minute to go now. This will be the last lap for Smith. Comfortable win in the end by the looks of it. He's got half the main straight advantage over Flux in 2nd. Kamaru, yeah, Kamaru looks like he's in a comfortable 3rd position now as well. Got Gadget centre in 4th. It's going to be skinny on fuel. Should be good to the end of the race. So Gadget's just as skinny on fuel as well. Gadget in 5th, Mac in 6th. Ben 7th, Miller 8th, Daz in 9th. As we rejoin Smith coming around the hairpin for the final time. Brilliant race win from Smith. He's had an up and down season by his standards. He jumps into the pits for the to cross the line. Does he cross the line? Yep, just about. Smith taking the checkered flag from the pit lane. Plucks in 2nd, and it looks like Kamaru's going to pick up the final podium position in 3rd place. Senna in 4th, Gadget in 5th, having crossed the line already past the hour mark. A great drive for Kamaru here. Finished his very strong season off. Finish it off with a podium place. Matt crossing the line in 6th place. So Ben will hold on to that 7th place ahead of Muller after Muller's couple of incidents towards the end of the race. But there's Kamaru crossing the line in 3rd. And Muller in 8th. Thanks for watching everyone. See you next week.